What's going on, everybody? Z here, and welcome to Megatech preparations. That's right, Astroneers put out this little handy infographic and information thing, and it tells you what you need to prepare for Megatech, what you need to unlock if you're starting a new game, what you get, what you don't get, if you get the DLC, all that fun stuff. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to dive into this. Hopefully you all are having a wonderful day. I'll have a link directly to this down below. If you want to read it for yourself, you can, but we're going to talk about it because Megatech is a week away. So I'm super excited. I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm excited for it. So we are less than a week away from the release of Astroneer MEGATECH. And if you're the kind of player who likes to do their research before diving in, then this guide will help you do the prep you need to get started right away with all the new content releases. Odds are that if you've already been playing the game for some time, you won't need to worry about any of these requirements. So if you've been playing a while and you're at the end game, you probably don't need to worry about this. But if you're new to the game or starting a new save for this DLC specifically, then this guide will show us the steps to beelining straight towards unlocking Megatech. So there's this handy little infographic here. I will talk about this, but then we'll dive into each part a little bit more. So in order to start Megatech, we need to do the mission that tells us to print an extractor and the extractor resource nugget. From there, we need to do the mission where it tells us to place a shelter on another planet and place a landing pad on another planet. From there, we need to gain 2,000 or more bytes. Now, this one says DLC required, and that's because it's museum missions. We're going to talk about that in a minute as well, but I'm just going to go through this part. We're going to just take it in order. You need to find and use 10 research samples. The intermodal terminal missions. We need to do rubber stamp and material matters. So that, I believe, is the train on Glacio, that whole thing where you get the train on there. You go through, you press some buttons, you bring some resources or whatever. All of that's fun stuff. And then material matters, I believe, is, print a chemistry lab and create rubber or plastic. So those are the missions that you need to do. If that is enough information for you, awesome. But if not, and you want a little bit more, we're going to talk about it. So, Megatech missions. In order to receive the first Megatech mission, you will first need to complete a few of the base game missions. So like I said, unearthed is print an extractor and extract a resource nugget. Now, these missions that it says do this mission to unlock this, some of these missions are beyond other missions. So when you first start the game, you're not going to have a mission, I don't believe, to immediately print an extractor and extract a resource nugget. It's going to be beyond a few missions, you know what I mean? So, but once you get to that point, that's where you need to get to. And it specifically says, unlocked after completing arm yourself and stuffed storage missions. So there's that. Forward progress, place a shelter on another planet, and place a landing pad on another planet. So fairly familiar with that. That's unlocked after completing smelteringly hot, which I believe you have to get a smelter, make a smelter, all that stuff. I think is it the one that asks you to make ceramic maybe? And then, and 2 parts unknown missions. So there you go. Additionally, there are a few more missions that you'll need to complete before you can start the intermodal terminal and museum mission lines. To clarify, you will be able to build these megastructures without completing the missions, but there are unique rewards tied to completing them. So we recommend playing through them. But if you want to do things out of order, you can, and the missions still should complete retroactively. Basically saying, you can complete these out of order, but if you just want to get the stuff and print the thing and do it before the mission even pops up to say to do it, once the mission pops up to say to do it, it'll say, oh, you've already done this step kind of thing. So they're saying, hey, you should follow the mission step, but if you don't want to, you don't have to, you know? So for the museum missions, you first need to complete Take a Bite, which is gain 2,000 more bytes. And this is also unlocked after completing the first science mission. I believe the first science is printing and making the research platform. And then the 2,000 bytes is beyond that. Here we go, sampling, find and use 10 research samples unlocked after completing the first science mission. So I believe these are kind of together. You kind of do them the same. So for the intermodal terminal missions, you must first complete rubber stamp. So use data log on the logistics depot Glacio to confirm shipment complete. Unlocked after completing better freight than never and cooler runs. Again, I believe those are the train missions. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive that's what they are. And then material matters, print a chemistry lab and create rubber or plastic. And that's after completing the talking tungsten, because I believe you need tungsten to make the chemistry lab. So you're going to have to do a little bit of work here. And in case you want to dash straight towards making your own orbital platform, bear in mind that the DLS won't have that construction anchor available until you first finish building at least one other megastructure to fully upgrade it. Now, the DLS, it hasn't said what the DLS is yet. The DLS is the Distribution Launcher System. I'm going to try to remember that, okay? But the Distribution Launcher System, the DLS, okay? And it's my understanding, let's just read this and then I'll talk about it. So here we have, the example of a megastructure being made. This thing looks sick. I'm excited for it. There's also a new pathway thing that we have in here that's going to be super fun. So intro missions. Once you've completed the forward progress and unearthed missions, you'll find the new large scale learning mission in your log. This is where you'll meet BP, your exo training assistant, who will welcome you to the Interplanetary Megastructure Initiative. So it sounds like large scale learning is going to be your first mission associated with the new Megatech stuff. These missions will start you out with your first megastructure, the Distribution Launcher System, the DLS, or DLS for short. You will receive a construction anchor, which you can deploy into a mega printer platform to set up the construction site of the DLS with a holographic preview of what it will look like. Once you're happy with its placement and you're sure this is where you want it, you can deploy the platform. So you are going to now get a mega printer. So keep that in mind, a mega printer and a distribution launcher system, because I believe the distribution launcher system, the DLS, is what's needed to make these mega structures on other places as well. The mega printer will require a large number of resources to print the DLS, a total of 49 compound, 29 zinc, 23 copper, and 7 steel. This is our first look at resource requirements, and I'm actually pretty excited about it because this, again, is this is the printer that's printing the distribution launcher system. This is like printing the foundation maker kind of thing, if you will. So like this being a base requirement is kind of cool. Like I like to see, some bigger numbers here. It's kind of fun. The mega printer drone will start the printing process after you have provided all of the resources it needs along with enough power, but will stop in its tracks if anything is missing. Over time, you'll see it completed. Now, when it says over time, you'll see it completed, how long does this stuff take to make? You know what I'm saying? So I believe this is actually the printer right here. If we kind of look at this, let's do this. Oh, there we go. There, I believe that's the printer. That's what it looks like, because it looks like it's printing this giant thing. Also, these things here, these are we'll talk about these in a little bit. I don't know why these are connected like this because these sound like something else, but anyways, I digress. Let's continue talking here. So continuing with the intermissions. With the DLS, you will gain the ability to launch construction anchors to any planet. Just place a construction anchor landing pad where you want to receive it, printable at the DLS. So the DLS is going to be the platform where you make the things it sounds like, and then you're going to place like where you want it to land. So like, let's say we want one of these mega structures on another planet. We need to make the platform, and then we need to go put it where we want this mega structure on the other planet. And then we come back here to the DLS, the distribution launcher system, and then make the thing or whatever. And then it sends it there. And it sounds like it makes it on there. Again, I don't know. I don't know for sure, but that's kind of what it sounds like. So place the construction anchor where you want it so you can initiate the construction of a new megastructure. Like the intermodal terminal, if you own the DLC expansion, you'll also now be able to build the orbital station, museum, and biodome. So the orbital station, the museum, and the biodome are locked behind the DLC. So everything else, I do believe they actually even say down here, everything else outside of the orbital station, museum, and biodome, everything mentioned in this blog will be part of the Megatech free update. So orbital station, museum, biodome, those are the paid parts of the DLC. Now the paid parts of the DLC it's $9.99. It's $10. So I'm excited for it, but that is what it sounds like that works. That's what it sounds like and how it works. Now, in the case of Aeola's, I'm saying that wrong. Megatech content locked behind the Megatech missions will only be accessible in creative mode. So that is the Glitchwalker stuff. And the stuff within that is going to be in creative mode. So I believe if you are in the Aeolus system and you're wanting to play with Megatech stuff in that system, you're only going to be able to do so within creative mode. I could be wrong. But that is what I'm understanding. Again, if I'm wrong, somebody comments down below, let me know. So again, I don't have access to it, so I have no idea. Mega Deconstructor. In case you change your mind about the placement of the Megastructure, or just want to free up some space, I feel like this is directed at me. In case you want to change your mind, I never make up my mind. I'm still questioning everything. Or you just want to free up some space by removing a Mega Printer platform, you have the option to use the new Mega Deconstructor to completely disintegrate them. You will lose your resource investment, so think carefully before doing so. But at least you won't have a giant hole left behind like you would with dynamite. Only the underlying deformed terrain generated in the construction of the Megastructure will remain. So it looks like when you build these platforms, you can see the terrain kind of builds up and fills in. You know how when you build like your station or your little habs and stuff like that, it kind of like fills in, that's kind of what it seems like. And once it's gone, like that soil will still be there, but the platform will not. Now, new walkways. So bending the terrain to your will to form land bridges can be fun and effective impromptu solution for getting around while exploring. But when building a base, you might want a cleaner, more aesthetically pleasing option. Thank you. The new walkways will help with this, and they have the added benefit of also carrying oxygen and power. They're crafted in bundles just like rail posts, and they're placed pretty much in the same way with the same kind of versatility. Creating a walking path between the nearest posts within range. They're also a nice way to connect the new museum to its display case extensions. Now, that's what I think these are. I think these are the display case extensions because you can see they're holding like random items. And I have personally wanted a way for like a display case thing forever because like I want all of the different items on there. I want all of the different zebra balls and all the fun stuff on here. Also, it looks like there's some other items that might be new to this. I would imagine, here, I'll show you exactly what I mean by this too. This guy right in here, these little things like this one, those are snails. It looks like those are snails. These things and some of this stuff over here, I've never seen this before. And my guess is that if they added a museum, they need to add things to put in the museum. They need to add pieces that are worth showing off. So I'm going to guess that there's going to be stuff that is added, that is new, in order to get these things. There might even be some missions associated with it, It's like maybe the museum has a mission for you, and it's like, hey, go do this, and you'll get this, museum piece or something like that. I don't know. And then we have the walkways. So these walkways are going to act like the rails, like the rail posts and stuff like that, which is super cool because the rails, the train system is very nice. I love the train system. And basically you place one and you can, stretch out to place the other one. You can see the blue line or whatever, the outline of it. And then it just kind of fills in and goes like it is. I love that. Also, a game that kind of did something recently that I really, really liked it, and it was kind of one of the first interpretations I saw of something kind of like this was Star Rupture. In that game, when you're doing your factory building stuff, you can actually use these platform pieces. It connects from platform piece to platform piece, but it kind of just naturally fills in. And I really like that because it helps with like, the terrain changes, things like that. Like if you can't perfectly line something up, they kind of just, they flow right into the next thing. So this is really exciting. I think this is actually a lot more exciting than a lot of things. Like I'm actually really, really excited about this, especially for areas that you traverse a lot or, just for areas that you traverse a lot, or if like you're going somewhere and you want like a good solid path to get back and forth. Like this is really exciting. I'm really excited for walkways. Like I know it's not the craziest thing in the world, but I'm excited for it. Now, outside of the orbital station, museum, and biodome, everything mentioned in this blog will be part of the free Megatech update. We hope you're as excited about the releasing coming November 20th. And if you want to unlock full potential of Megatech, then consider wishlisting the DLC for a launch day reminder. Now, we do have a couple FAQs, so we'll read through those in case you have any questions. So obviously, what is the release date? It's November 20th. We know that. The Nintendo Switch release will come at a later time. We'll share more as soon as we know. if Nintendo Switch updates always come later because of just there's more things associated with it. You know what I mean? Nintendo Switch is like the additional platform for a lot of games. Like your core platform is, main consoles and PC. Switch is the later stuff. Also, I think there's more testing that has to go in. There's probably approval stuff, from Nintendo that has to be put in. I don't know. But that's not an uncommon thing. How much will the DLC be? It'll be $9.99. So awesome. Super cheap. I love it. Will any free content be released with the Megatech DLC? Yes. A free content update will be released alongside the paid DLC. So you will have some new stuff as well. Will existing game save files be compatible? Yes. Will dedicated servers be available at launch for playing with Megatech content? Yes. If I own Megatech DLC and my friend doesn't, will we still be able to play together? So, for dedicated servers, if a server is hosting a Megatech save file, then all players looking to join must also have the Megatech DLC. A save file is considered a Megatech save file as soon as the construction anchor for either a biodome, orbital platform, or museum is deployed. So consider backing up a save file first. So once you build one of the premium items, one of the DLC items, your server will become a Megatech server, and people will have to have Megatech to join it. Leave a comment. Let me know. Are you running a server? I'm curious. I'm actually curious. I would love to join some servers and check out what you amazing people are doing. So hit me up in the Discord. So for co-op play, if the host player owns the Megatech DLC, anyone can join and play Megatech content as well. But cosmetics will only unlock for players who own the DLC themselves. So if you and your friend are playing and you own the DLC and they're joining your co-op play, then they can play with you. However, if it's a dedicated server, then no, because dedicated servers are, always running. The person is not always there. The owner's not always there. Anybody can hop in whenever. But if you're playing co-op, then people can join you. So pretty exciting. How far into the game should I progress before starting the Megatech DLC? You can access the Megatech DLC as soon as you start a new game. That said, the majority of this new content will be locked behind a fair bit of the tech tree and submissions, both old and new. This very blog should help clarify that. So if you are planning to play Megatech, I've had a lot of people ask me, do I recommend a new save for this? No, not really. I don't think this is a new save kind of thing. Personally, I think this is a very end game thing. I think this is without them saying this is end game. I think this is end game. They do say that you will have to progress a fair bit into the game. It's end game. Look at the resources you need for just the first printer. You need 49 compound, that's not bad. 29 zinc, also not bad. 23 copper, not bad. And 7 steel, also not super bad. But for steel, you're going to need a few other resources first. You're going to need some other stuff. Obviously, you need some other missions and stuff like that done first. So this isn't a new save kind of thing. Now, if you do want to start a new save for this, start now. I recommend starting now. I don't think there's going to be... my guess, and according to this, as far as I can see, there is not going to be any missions from the very beginning of the game that are going to be Megatech specific. There's not going to be a mission that you can start with immediately that's going to be Megatech specific. Now, if you are already into the game, I think I have all of my missions done. I'm not 100% positive. I'm pretty sure we have all of the missions done that I can. I fully expect to hop into Megatech, and I should already have the missions there, and we should already be good to go. So, that would be my recommendation, is to get to at least the points here that are going to benefit you. If you are getting the DLC, make sure you are... who's not getting the DLC? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Are you picking up the DLC or are you not? Because for $9.99 and the amount of people playing the game, I feel like the people still playing the game today, I feel like is a pretty dedicated crew. You know what I mean? I feel like we're pretty dedicated people now. And I feel like we're probably paying the $9.99. You know what I mean? But leave a comment. Let me know if you're not. And if you're not, it's completely okay. Absolutely. I get it. Not everybody wants to pay for all, DLCs and stuff like that. And I get it. But leave a comment. Let me know. I'm curious. But, I wouldn't recommend necessarily a new save personally, just because I feel like it's end game stuff. And if you're already end game, you might as well. Now, if your planet is if your save is destroyed, if you have fractured planets because you've dug up everything and all that stuff, and the game is already running really rough, or something that for that, that thing, maybe maybe. But like if you have a huge system set up, if you have storage, automation, stuff like that, I wouldn't recommend starting a new save. I would recommend getting in there, making sure everything's good to go, but I wouldn't recommend a new save. Now, let's just talk about these pictures a little bit. So we've got the observatory, right? It said observatory. I do apologize. I have the memory of a goldfish here. So orbital station, museum, and biodome. It didn't say observatory. Okay, so museum, orbital station, and biodome. Orbital station obviously is that giant floating thing in the sky. I don't know how that's going to work. I still have no idea. Some people were commenting on my video saying maybe it's a generic asteroid thing to start with, and then you go on there and then you start mining it, and then it becomes one of those resources. Maybe you can summon different resources. You know, you can kind of like go through and pick stuff. Maybe you have to unlock them as you go. I don't know. I don't know how that works. So the orbital station, I have no idea. But what it sounds like it's being added to the main game and not like its own separate adventure kind of thing. Kind of like Glitchwalkers was. It doesn't sound like that. So I'm really excited for that. Museum. Maybe this is the museum. Maybe this is the museum. It's not the biodome. We know what the biodome looks like. We know the biodome is the thing with the plants and stuff like that inside of it. And I'm really excited to explore that as well. So, yeah, maybe that's the museum. It looks like a giant oxygenator or a giant RTG kind of, because like the top of it. But yeah, and then here's the museum, like, you know, storage things where you can like display all your stuff. That looks really cool. I'm really excited for that. So looks like we're gonna need some space for this stuff. Luckily for me, I did clear a large section, and I'm hoping that I can fit most of this in there. Oh, I don't know. Depending on how large these. Okay, so this is a large resource canister, and I can have 3 of these per large platform. So 1, 2, 3. So a large platform is probably like this big. I probably have room. For this stuff. So I think we'll be okay for my save. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited. So there it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, this is just, they posted this and I was like, oh, we should check this out. We should talk about it because it's new. It's coming in a week and I'm excited. Leave a comment. Let me know if you're excited. That's going to end it. Thank you so much for coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, all the fun things also does help out. I do appreciate the likes. I appreciate the subscribes. Make sure you're subscribed. Some people, YouTube just likes to unsubscribe people. So you could be unsubscribed and you don't even know it. But thanks again for coming out. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.